Welcome to the channel. Today, we're diving into plant propagation, an easy and fun way to grow your plant collection no matter how small your space is. You'll learn how to propagate plants, save money, and fill your space with more greenery, all without overcrowding your home. Let's get started. First, let's talk about why propagating plants is so great. If you're looking to expand your plant collection without spending a ton of money, propagation is the way to go. By simply taking cuttings from your existing plants, you can grow new ones at almost no cost. Plus, it's an incredibly satisfying experience to watch a cutting grow roots and turn into a full-fledged plant. Before we get into the propagation process, let's talk about the tools you'll need. Don't worry, this isn't a complicated list. All you need is a sharp pair of scissors or pruning shears to make clean cuts, a container of water for water propagation, or a small pot with soil, some fresh potting mix, preferably one that drains well. Optional but helpful rooting hormone to encourage healthy root growth. That's really all you need. The sharp scissors are crucial, as they'll prevent any damage to your plant while making a clean cut. Rooting hormone isn't always necessary, but it can speed up the rooting process for certain plants, especially if you're propagating more delicate varieties. Now let's get to the exciting part, propagating your plants. We'll start with one of the easiest options, pothos. Step 1. Cut your pothos stem just below a node. Nodes are small bumps on the stem where leaves and roots emerge. This is where the magic happens, as roots will begin to grow from here. The more nodes you include in your cutting, the better. Step 2. Place your cutting in a jar of water. Make sure the node is submerged, but the leaves stay above the water level. You'll want to place the jar in a bright area with indirect sunlight. Change the water every few days to keep it fresh. Within a week or two, you'll start to see little roots forming. Once you see a good amount of roots, you can transfer the cutting into soil to help it grow into a full plant. Next, let's look at spider plants. These guys are known for producing pups, small plantlets that grow on long stems. The great thing about spider plants is that they're incredibly easy to propagate. Step 1. Find a healthy pup that has its own roots attached. Snip it off carefully from the main plant. Step 2. You can either place the pup directly in water to root, or put it straight into a small pot with fresh soil. Spider plants root very quickly in soil, so it's totally fine to skip the water phase. Now that your cuttings are safely in water or soil, it's time to care for them. If you're propagating in water, make sure to change the water every few days to avoid bacterial growth and keep the roots healthy. It's also important to keep the jar in bright, indirect sunlight. If your home is particularly dry, your cuttings might appreciate a little extra humidity. You can mist them lightly with a spray bottle or place them on a humidity tray. This is especially helpful if you live in a dry climate. For soil-propagated cuttings, make sure to keep the soil consistently moist, but not soggy. Overwatering can lead to root rot, so a light hand with watering is key. After a few weeks, your cutting will have developed roots. This is the perfect time to transfer it into a larger pot. If you propagate it in water, gently remove the roots and place them in a well-draining pot with fresh potting mix. Be sure to use a pot with drainage holes so excess water can escape. This prevents root rot and helps the plant thrive. Once in its new pot, continue to water it lightly and keep it in a bright spot. And that's it. You now know how to propagate plants in your tiny home. Whether you're starting with pothos, spider plants, or another favorite, propagation is a fun and easy way to expand your plant collection without taking up too much space. Don't be afraid to experiment with different types of plants. The more you try, the more confident you'll become in your plant propagation skills. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more plant care tips. Happy gardening, and I'll see you in the next one.